everyone. Today we will continue our lecture on AWT. In previous lecture we have seen various AWT classes and swing classes. Further we have given the differences between AWT and swing. In this lecture we will learn about event handling. Event handling will come in picture whenever we are dealing with the window based application, right? Whenever we are creating windows and we are adding the component in that window. If we are clicking on the window or we are moving the mouse, we are pressing the mouse or we are clicking on the button, right? So these are all the events, right? In event handling we will learn how to handle if these events are occurred. So let us see the definition of event handling. It is the mechanism, right? It is the mechanism that controls the event, right? That will control the event and decides what should happen if an event occurs, right? In this mechanism, we will define the what actions should be taken for handling the event. Moreover, if we say this mechanism has a code which is known as an event handler. This is executed when any event occurs, right? For example, if I am clicking on the button, then the what will be happen that code should be included in the event handler and that will be executed whenever I am clicking on the button, right? So in this way this event handling will work. Java uses the delegation event model to handle the event. That there is a particular model for handling the events in Java. Right? Let us see this model. This model defines the standard mechanism to generate and handle the events, right? In this, the standardized mechanism is there for generating and handling the events. In this model, there are some key participants which are following. First is source. The source is an object on which the event occurs. For example, I am clicking on the button, then it is known as the source because from that event is occurred. Source is responsible for providing information of the occurred event to its handler, right? This provides the information of occurred event. Means for example, we are clicking on the button. The clicking on the button, this is the information about the event and that is provided to handler. Java provides us with the classes for the source object, right? This is given by the Java. They provide us the various classes for various events. And then the other participant is listener. So the listener is also known as the event handler. And this listener is responsible for generating a response to an event, right? Whenever a particular event is occurred, right, then this listener is coming into a picture. For example, I am clicking on the button, right? After the click, this listener will be invoked for giving the response. From the point of view of Java implementation, the listener is also an object, right? If we consider Java language, listener itself is an object. The listener waits till it receives an event, right? Whenever you are occurring an event, you are clicking the button, then and then this listener will be invoked. Once the event is received, the listener processes the event and then returns some actions. So, listener gives the responses according to events. So, these two are the participants which are in delegation event model, right? The first is the source from which the event is occurred and the another is listener who will handle the event. Then in the event handling, let us see the various steps for handling the event. Step 1, the user clicks the button and the event is generated. This is the for example, event can be generated in window or mouse or using keyboard, right? So here I have taken just example in step 1. For example, user is clicking on the button and the event is generated. In second step, the object of concerned event is created, and this is the automatic process, and the information about the source and the event get populated within the same object, right? For example, in first step, I am clicking on the button, right? And the second step, the event class object according to this button event will be created. For example, for button click event, the class is available which is action event. Then the object of action event will be created in second step, and with this object the information about the source, right, and the event will be populated with this object only, right. So this is the second step where the event object is created. In the third step, event object is forwarded to the method of the registered listener class, right. So this is the third step. This event object is forwarded to listener's method. For particular event class, particular listener interface is available, and this object is forwarded to this listener, and listeners are having the method and this object is forwarded to that method. If we take the example of button, then the object for the button action event object will be created, and this object will be passed to the action listener. Action listener is one of the listener which is available for action handling, right, means the event handling. Now in this action listener interface, method is available which is action performed, right, and this object is passed to that method action performed, right. Then the fourth step is the method is get executed and returns, right. Whenever we are passing the object to that method, this method will be executed and handle the event, give the response to the event. If we revise this all this step, in step 1 event is generated. In the second step, the event object is created according to event. For example, it is a button event, then the action event object will be created. In the third step, this object will be passed to the method of listener for the particular listener. For example, it is a button event and the event class is action event. The listener is action listener and the method is action performed. So this object will be passed to the action performed method. In the fourth step, this action performed method will be executed and give the response according to the event, right. So this is what the steps of the event handling. These steps are used for event handling, and this is also included in the event delegation model, right. So this is what the event handling. In next lecture we will see the various event classes and listeners for the various events, right, for the button events, key events, window event, etc. There are particular listeners and event classes available in Java. Thank you.